Welcome to the country. It's a beautiful day here in western Oklahoma. It's supposed to get 70 degrees today. Got light winds. Perfect day to get out here and do some field testing on some lures. So I spent the last couple of weeks making a few lures and doing some repaints on some old ones and kind of getting ready to get after it here in the spring. It's not too much longer. We're going to be out fishing. I wanted to come out here and show you these lures. Some that I made, some that I bought, some that I did a repaint on. I wanted to get out here and throw my muskie setup around a little bit, kind of get familiar with it. So this is my 6 cents broomstick, my Baits goat, and I've got 80-pound 8-strand braid. KastKing braid is what I went with. And this braid may be a little bit overkill, but I do not want to take any chances when I do hook into a muskie at some point. I want to give myself every opportunity to catch the fish, so we've spared no expense, and we're not going to cheap out on the equipment to make this muskie dream a reality. I'm getting excited about it. I mean, it's maybe 6 weeks away at the most before we really get out and start trying to catch a muskie. But let me show you this lure. This is one that I've made. Let's see, I've made one, two, three. I think I've made four that you guys haven't seen. And this is one of them right here. Look at this thing. Chartreuse yellow with a red belly. Man, that's an awesome looking lure. I think I'm gonna definitely catch a fish on this thing. Maybe not a muskie, but um, definitely gonna get out and bass fish with it for sure. You know, all these lures that I've been building are really untested. I mean, they haven't caught many fish. They look good in the water, but you just don't know what the durability is going to be or anything till you get out and put them to the test. So I'm a little reluctant to think I'm going to come out and catch a muskie on a handmade lure without having something fail on it, like the hook eyes pull out. That's what my main concern is the hook eyes not being strong enough to hold in the bait. So we're going to get out and do some extensive field testing on these things before we try to catch a muskie with one of them. If I can hold off. I don't know if I can hold off or not. So that's one. One of the newest ones. Let's see. This one right here you guys haven't seen. Look at that one. That's a new Woody that I just built. It's got the same paint on it around the belly as the yellow lure there. It's got a little bit of hint of that on the eyes. These eyes are, this is solder. I needed the weight in the front, so I just used solder for the eyes, and I used the solder to drill the hook eye into, because I want that strength. So that hook eye is into that solder, and that adds weight to the front of the lure. Helps it really go back and forth, and it kind of rolls. And I want to show that to you. I'm going to try to show that to you, the way it rolls in the water on top of, gliding back and forth. Uh, I've thrown it around already this morning. It looks really good, so I'm really happy with it. This one right here, I think it's going to be one of my favorites. Look at that thing. This is a smaller little profile. You see that thing, that glitter in the sun? Man, this is, the smallest profile one I've built so far, and I wanted to get out and throw it around and make sure it fished like I wanted it to before I built any more of this size. Because I want to be able to throw this stuff on my regular bass tackle. So I've downsized this a little bit. The feathers are wet because I've already thrown him around, and it does the exact same thing, man. It walks really good. So this is one I'm really happy with. It turned out awesome. I'm really starting to get the paint method, I think, down on these lures where they look really good. They just don't fish good. They look good too. So this is a cool one right here. You guys, I want you to stay tuned. We will catch fish on this thing. I promise you that. This one right here, I've got it on my bass tackle. This is my Berkley Cherrywood 6-foot Cherrywood rod, KastKing bait casting reel. I think this is 30-pound spider wire braid. And this thing here, I really like. Look at that. Look at the shine and the glimmer. That is a black background with that shimmer kind of shiny paint job on it. I haven't decided. I might show you guys how I'm doing this and what the materials I'm using to paint these things with. But look at that. It's got a lot of purples and greens. It's really a cool looking lure right there. Of course, I've got the red accent on the tail end of it. But this one right here, I'm really excited about this one. That one really turned out good, and I may make another one like that. I do like the red and white, but this one with that dark background and that shimmer, I think is really going to be a killer this year. We're going to catch a fish on that 100%. Last but not least, I have a little repaint right here. I've got a bunch of old antique lures that I can repaint. Just kind of reluctant. I don't know if it, you want to honor the lure a little bit, I think, on some of this stuff. And some of them I change the hooks out on. Some of them I leave the original hooks on. Some of them I repaint. This one was in real bad shape when I bought it. I think I got it off eBay. And I just had to do a repaint on it. Look at that thing. That is I think they call that fuchsia is the paint. And it's got a little gold. You can see that gold coming through. Of course, it's got a metal lip. And I put a little white on this one, on the tail end of this one. And this thing, for being an old lure, and I don't know what it is because it doesn't have any markings on it or anything, it runs like a dream. I will catch a fish on this thing right here, right off of this very dock at some point this year. That's a cool looking little lure. I wish I knew what it was. Like I said, it doesn't have any markings on it whatsoever, so I don't know. So anyway, there's a few of the lures that I've made, that I've repainted. I got a couple of them that I just bought a couple of days ago, got in the mail, and I threw them around a little bit. So these are Max lures, M-A-C-K apostrophe S. I've got 4 of them. This guy right here, this is a Max Shore Dew. I've got two this color, and I got one that's a chrome, blue and chrome. It's got a little damage on it, but I don't think I'm going to repaint it at this point. I think I'm going to leave it like it is. I've already thrown them around this morning. They run really good, so those are going to be some fun ones. I like to get these kind of old, obscure baits that you never heard of before. I've never heard of a Max lure. I mean, they're from the upper northwest, I think, Washington State, something like that. They're built to catch steelhead, or from what I understand, I've seen on eBay anyway. This one is a McAdoo, Max McAdoo. And you can find them on eBay if you want to look them up. I've already thrown this guy around too. It runs pretty good. So that thing will catch a fish. Look at the nose on it. So those are going to be fun to fish with. I like finding old lures, especially ones that I've never heard of before, and catching fish on them and stuff. So looking forward to getting out and throwing those things around. So on January the 31st, 2025, we closed on our Missouri property. And I am super, super excited about it, guys. This is going to be a real adventure for us. It's a huge commitment for us to buy this property 6 hours away from our house. Not just the financial commitment, but the time commitment we're going to have to make to get up there. Spend time up there to get it all ready to put we want to put a cabin there and just make it a real nice kind of a lake retreat. I've talked about it before, I think, where nobody's ever getting any younger, especially since my dad passed away. I really kind of look at aging a little bit differently than I did before. I'll be 50 years old in 3 days. And, we decided, Tammy and I, to kind of get busy living. And I wish I would have taken an opportunity to get out and go muskie fishing with my dad at some point, and I regret that. But now we're taking the steps. Like I said, it's a big responsibility and a big risk, but hey, it's a done deal, guys. We're headed that way. We're going to be right in the heart of a lot of really good fishing. We're right on the river, and I don't know if I've explained it to you guys, kind of exactly what the location is, but Truman Lake, Pomme de Terre Lake, we're right on the river between those two lakes. We're an hour and a half, 2 hours away from Table Rock and Branson, Bull Shoals. We're an hour away from Lake of the Ozarks. So we're right in the middle of some really good fishing. So I can't wait to get started. I think we've scheduled our first trip up there. March the 14th, I think, is when I scheduled the first trip. But we may go a little earlier. I don't know if I can hold off that long and not go up there since we own the property now. So we'll see. But with that, I think I'm going to close out this morning. I'm going to pitch a few more lures around and play around a little bit, but there's no sense in you guys watching me do that. And just enjoy the sunshine a little bit today, my day off, before we got to get back and get after it again next week. But spring is coming up here pretty soon. I'll try to get out and do a video for you guys. Another one or two before we get out and go fishing. So I may make a few more lures. I don't know yet. I've got some repaints going right now. I'm just waiting on the paint to dry to do the epoxy coat. So I'll probably show you those. But for now, I want to get off of here. I want to thank you guys for watching.